Hey cuties, PeachY here, welcome back to a new video, and in this video we have some MJ news for 2027. We're taking a look at what we know of so far coming in spring of next year, including Bratz, Rainbow High, LOL Surprise, OMG's rebrand, Mirror Me, and more. So stay tuned, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Hype this video cuties, consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support that channel. That way, no pressure, and so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. But for now, let's get into it. So previously, user Seeing Mount confirmed we're getting some sort of collaboration between Bratz and Initial A. So we don't know what this A is, what it stands for, but there's a rumor that it could be Alyssa Liu, who recently won a gold medal at the Olympics Winter Games, right? The Winter Olympic Games. She's an ice figure skater, and she won, again, gold medal, which is a big deal. And apparently she is already a fan of Bratz. Even I think one of her family members was holding up like this poster that had a like Bratz image of Alyssa in the actual like arena where she was like doing her ice skating. So it seems like this could be what's happening here, that this collaboration is between Bratz and Alyssa Liu. I mean, again, the initial is literally of her name, Alyssa. She has a past of talking about Bratz and being a fan of Bratz. So I don't know. I mean, this definitely feels like it would make sense. Plus, Bratz even themselves posted a, Bratzified image of Alyssa after she won the gold medal. So this definitely feels like this is what it could be, but I mean, it's not confirmed. It's just a rumor. Then we had a first look leak recently at the 2026 Bratz Holidays Yasmin doll, and I'm not going to show it because it's a leak and MJ hates my guts. They always strike my videos whenever I show leaked images, but basically she's wearing a red/black dress, a mask, and this interesting part about her dress at the very top around her shoulders, there's like these hands that are like holding up a portion of her dress. I don't know, it's very weird, hard to imagine, but if you've seen the image, you know. And if you don't, then don't worry, she's coming out this year, so we'll get official stock photos in no time. But it is interesting how every year so far, when we've had the holidays doll, last year was Chloe, this year it's Yasmin. They're both very differently in themes. Yasmin is definitely not very similar to last year with Chloe. Like last year, Chloe kind of had this Snow Queen look, and this year with Yasmin, definitely not the same theme or aesthetic at all. She's kind of actually giving more Phantom of the Opera. So I'm really not sure. I mean, I'm loving that there are like such different drastic themes every year so far for like the holiday doll, but still interesting. I wonder what the theme really is for Yasmin. Now, I already talked about this in my doll news video from last week, but in case you missed it, the Bratzillaz are coming back, but they're coming back in the form of Bratzies. So we're getting Bratzies themed after the Bratzillaz characters, the main five, and also Vampirella. I don't know her name, but it's the vampire girl. So yes, they're coming back. Bratzillaz is returning to some extent. Just for now, it'll be in the shape of Bratzies. But there's no doubt that MJ knows there's demand for Bratzillaz to return officially, like fully. Hopefully they just, I don't know, realize this, because they need to bring back Bratzillaz, like not just as Bratzies, but like give them a full-on revival, media, new core dolls, new anything, new everything. Honestly, I feel like it's just, now is the time, and especially with Moonspell Magic just released, it's like, when is it better than right now to do a comeback for Bratzillaz? So again, for now, they will be coming back, but as Bratzies. So very disappointing, because I do think a lot of us, when we first heard the news of Bratzillaz, the trademarks for the names getting renewed, we all thought, oh my god, it's happening, the revival is happening. But no, it's just they renewed the trademarks of the names of the characters to use them for Bratzies. So I mean, that's just, what what a disappointment, but I mean, hey, if the Bratzies happen and then afterwards the Bratzillaz the Bratzillaz get a full-on comeback, then I think that'll be like, it'll be forgiven. But if we only get the Bratzies and then Bratzillaz never gets mentioned or released again, that's gonna suck so bad. But what do you think of Bratzillaz returning, but as Bratzies? Yay! And yes, now we get into the news for 2027 regarding MGA updates shared by user Seeing Mount. Here, starting off once more with Bratz stuff, as we have more updates for Bratz releases. It includes Bratz Royals and Bratz It Girlz that are coming in spring of 2027. So starting off with Bratz Royals, it's confirmed this line is coming in 2027, including the main for girls, and it's going to be priced around $26.99, coming again sometime in spring of next year. Of course, the title of Royals does kind of give you the feeling that this might be somehow tied to the Princess line that came out all those years ago. Still to this day, I do think the Princess line is probably one of the most like fan favorite Bratz lines ever made. So them kind of like making a new royal themed line, literally calling it Bratz Royals for next year, is kind of, I mean, it definitely is basically like a Princess 2.0 series, similarly to how they just released last year the Fashion Pixies dolls, which were basically like a 2.0 reimagined of the original Pixies dolls. So this actually might be part of the whole like reimagined new line that they're doing. You know, the Fashion Pixies from last year were part of that, and then this year we're getting the 2001 core dolls reimagined as well. Those are coming, and so next year for them to do like a reimagined of the Princess line and calling them Royals, I do think that would actually make sense. Interesting, but I kind of wish that they would have also included like another character, because in the original Princess line, I do think they also included Fiona, right? There were also like those twins, so there were many characters in that first Princess line that here, if this is like a reimagined, unofficial, like new take on the Princess line, Royals, you know, there's only the 4 characters. I do think it would have been better to also include another character similar to how Lena was a part of last year's Fashion Pixies line as the 5th character. But anyway, that's just rumors. I'm not sure if this is really like a reimagined of the princess, or maybe it's just Royals happen to be similarly themed, but they're not really the same thing as the Princess line. I really don't know, but they're not too expensive. Like $26.99 is kind of like the budget release that we've had so far. So they might not include a second outfit. They might not have too many outfits, just too many accessories. Just they might be more similar to like like the Fashion Pixies from last year. Although the Fashion Pixies, weren't they a bit more expensive? I'm not sure, but they should still look good. Hopefully they have good enough quality for the clothing, and also maybe they might have the articulated body, so they might have more articulation on the arms, so that might also be something. But I don't know, what do you think? Then we have the Bratz It Girlz line, which is going to be priced around $22.99 US, coming next year as well for spring. So because these are cheaper, this definitely feels like, to me, the It Girlz line will be like the new version of Scorchin and Sassy Stampede from this year. Sassy Stampede, Scorchin, I think those were priced more around $20 US, right? They weren't like a 22, but I mean, they're so similar, like so close in price point. I mean, it has to be basically like a new, like 2027's version of Sassy Stampede or Scorchin. Like it would just make sense if It Girlz ended up being like that kind of like line like we had this year for, again, Sassy Stampede, or last year for Scorchin. So I don't know, maybe it'll be like something different, but regardless, the price point still is low enough that it kind of makes it feel like it's gonna be like a budget playline territory, like not too expensive. Definitely seems more affordable. But It Girlz, like what would it be about? It Girlz definitely feels like very fashion forward, very trendy. I'm assuming it'll be about like the hottest new fashion trends because they're literally calling them It Girlz. But it might also have to do with like accessories, you know, It Girl might also have to do with, you know, shoes or like a unique makeup look, unique hairstyle perhaps. I think it'll definitely have to do with one of those, like it'll feature like unique attributes, like when it comes to makeup or a hairstyle, or like maybe all 4 of the characters will have like one specific like highlight piece that connects them all together. I'm not sure, but I do feel like It Girlz definitely feels like it's gonna be like there's gonna be something special about them. Like at least one factor will be special. Like if it's the makeup or if it's the hair or some kind of fashion item will be the standout piece of this line. Because that just, I don't know, that's what I'm feeling here, It Girlz. But what do you think at the price point of $22 for next year? And finally, something other than Bratz here, we have news for Rainbow High featuring Stella, Skylar, Celine, Violet, and Amaya. They arrive in a new core lineup for spring of 2027. Price point is known as of right now, but the main surprise here is that Celine, one of the new characters introduced in the Bedazzling line that just released previously this year, would be a part of this new, quote, core lineup for spring of 2027. I mean, that has to mean something. That has to mean that Celine will play a larger role in the plot, in the narrative of the upcoming new season for Rainbow High, or they just tested her with kids and she just does really well. Maybe kids just really respond to her color theme. And maybe because she looks so similar to Bella, they're able to like use her as a Bella stand-in or, you know, Daphne stand-in. I really don't know, but it's interesting, the lineup here of like Stella, Skylar, Amaya, Violet, and then Celine. Yeah, it's just, once again, no Jade, no Ruby, no Sunny, no Pop, of course no Poppy, but like no Jade, Ruby, Sunny is surprising to me. So yeah, I'm not really sure. It really feels like they've completely, you know, given up on those characters and they're just all in on Violet, Skylar here, as you know, and Amaya too. They're basically, those 3 characters are carrying the Rainbow High line. Those are the characters we always see, and of course Bella, but Bella surprisingly is not here. Stella is here instead of Bella. Yeah, why is Stella? Why not Bella? So I mean, they're both pink, but like, interesting. But yeah, again, Celine, why is she here? I feel like time will tell. Maybe there is no reason. Maybe again, she just tested really well with kids. Maybe her turquoise color just, maybe she had the biggest sales, right? That could be. Maybe there is no narrative reason for her to be here. You know, just like with Kaya and Jewel being in this year's My Fashion Style Wave 2, you know, Jewel might not have a reason for being here. She's just there to offer more variety, right? But Kaya, it does seem like Kai will be a part of this bigger narrative in a new season, so that's why she's here in like the Paris line as well. But like, why is Celine here next year? You know, like in a new core lineup, definitely interesting, because also like as a core, when you think of core lineup, you definitely think of like the original 6 girls plus Amaya. You don't think of Stella, Amaya, you know, like, and then Celine is here. Like, what? I don't know, man. This is all very random to me, but what do you think? We have LO surprise news here. There's going to be 2 new collaboration tot lines that will be released in 2027. There's going to be one with the codename of SSM and the other with KEK. You know, the KEK license will also release an OMG doll themed to the property. So basically a new collaboration with the codename KEK. You know, there's going to be an OMG doll as well. So that is very exciting. Hopefully they also sport the new face sculpts. I do think it seems like from now on, the OMG dolls, the tots, will always have the new face sculpts. That would be really exciting if that's the case, because I do think that will really help to kind of bring new life into LO Surprise as a brand. It will definitely give them a second wind, you know, rejuvenate them, make them feel like more of the time. So that's going to be very exciting. But like, yeah, what are these code names? What do they stand for? KEK and SSM? Like, girl, I don't know. But it does seem like we're getting more top collaborations. That really seems to be the focus recently with LO Surprise. But yeah, also an OMG doll with the collaboration of KEK. So Again, what that stands for, I'm not sure, but we're getting a collaboration this year with Hello Kitty, you know, so that's huge. So I do think whatever this is collaborating with, it'll be pretty huge as well. And especially, again, getting a new OMG doll, I'm never gonna say no. That's gonna be so exciting. Again, coming next year. And lastly, yes, we have a little bit of Mirror Me news. There's gonna be 2 new concepts that start with R and E. Yeah, that's basically it. So basically, there's gonna be, I guess, 2 new characters that start with the concepts of R and E. So like ecstasy or relaxing, you know, like just, I don't know, like verbs basically, because it does seem like Mirror Me is kind of like a line themed around emotions, themed around like feelings and vibes, right? So with these 2 new characters, their concepts starting with R and E, I mean, those could literally be for like any word. So adjective, verb, like it could be anything. So we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Mirror Me, cannot wait for them to get officially revealed, because we got lots to talk about when it comes to Mirror Me. But officially, I do think they're supposed to be releasing July, so it feels like any day now we should be getting the stock photos. And then rest assured, I'll be here giving you a full breakdown, because again, Mirror Me seems to be MGA's new like big thing, new big project that they're working on, perhaps even like the new Rainbow High, weirdly enough. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see what all of this leads up to with Mirror Me. Anyway, that's it for today's updates when it comes to MGA news regarding the releases for spring of 2027. I'm sure we'll get even more, and this is just the tip of the iceberg that we know of right now. But what do you think of all these updates when it comes to MGA releases coming in next year? What are your hopes? What to see? What's to come with Bratzillaz, Mirror Me, Bratz, Rainbow High, Celine, you know, like, and then also LO Surprise with the continued new face sculpts being in use. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff happening next year. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think down below. Leave a like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hype this video, cuties. Consider becoming a channel member today. Link to join is down below if you're able to, of course, to support that channel that way, no pressure. And so you do not miss out when I post more content like this coming your way and keeping you up to date with all the dollty you love. Thank you also to all my currently subscribed members. I see you and I appreciate you all so much. Stay safe, be kind. I hope this next time stay peachy. Kisses.